It happened January 1st, 2020. Um, I had a pizza and I had some hot peppers on the pizza, never been allergic to it before or anything. I ate the hot peppers on top of the pizza, something like a crushed pepper, and my tongue swelled up like so big, like I was terrified. It was so big that it was hanging out of my mouth. So I went to the emergency room. Um, they see me right there. They took me in the back to this table and I started to get scared. Of course, it was cold in there. It looked like a surgical room. So I'm sitting on the end of this table and the doctor comes up and he's like, Miss Matthews, can you like open your mouth? And before I could open my mouth, my tongue was just like out there. And they were like, okay, call the rest of the people up in here. We're going to have to cut her throat. Once they said cut my throat, I started to think in my head, God, please protect me, protect my children. Like I really didn't know what was going to happen. I had a sense of a being on the right side of me in the corner telling me to let go and let God. If anything happened to me, my kids will be taken care of. I will be taken care of. So therefore, I let go and let God. I basically passed out on the table. I was a cold blue. I was in a coma for 8 days on a respiratory system. In those 8 days that I was in the coma, when I first went into the coma, it was nothing but darkness at first. Then I felt my soul like be pushed up to heaven. Well, through the clouds, through the sky, all the way up in space. It was sucked out like a vacuum. And it's like I didn't have a body, but I had a consciousness. Like it's like seeing without having a body or having eyes or anything. It's like being invisible, but you are you. You have your consciousness. You are you. You don't change. So as I'm wandering around, basically in spirit, I was able to go back and forth to a place that I call God's bosom. I would basically be up there chilling. There was no time or anything. Everybody was connected. The spirit was connected. There were billions of other spirits there too. And we're communicating through the mind, even though we don't have a mind, like I guess through the consciousness. So I started to ask spirit, how am I able to move back and forth through different time zones? And spirit told me that my soul already knows how to do it. Like once the soul leaves the body, the soul goes back to the creator and the soul has already been there before. So it's nothing different. It's nothing new. So I'm like, oh, so I can actually move in and out, in and out. So I asked spirit if I could see myself in the hospital. Spirit sent me when I got sent from soul to the hospital, it was in zero point 0.5 seconds. There is no time. It was like a blink of an eye. I was at the hospital. I was over top of myself. I was looking at myself. I seen the nurses come in, pluck my feet. I heard them say that they may have to pull the plug because I was not responding or anything. I seen my loved ones in the corner. They were crying and telling me, oh, wake up, wake up. But for some reason, I didn't want to wake up. Like I left the hospital room and I went back to God's bosom. And it's so quick. Like I couldn't believe it. Once I was in God's bosom, it was beautiful. There was an ocean that was so blue that you ain't never seen no color like this on earth. It had a lavender tint over top of it. There was light. There's a big glowing light that's there. And in this light, you feel protected. Like you feel like nothing is going to happen to you. You have lived your life. You have done what God wanted you to do. And you are just there, just resting. No worries, no nothing. It's beautiful. I heard singing, angels. I don't know if I was close to God, but you have to understand there are different levels to spirit, there's different levels to the soul, there's different levels to heaven. Like all this stuff that I'm telling you, I downloaded it from spirit. Like it's like they tell me, it's like the communication now is they tell me stuff and I just say whatever they want me to say. And what I'm saying is that when I went back to the other realm, I was there. I felt like I was there for half a second. I didn't know that I was under for 8 days. So a spirit familiar came by me and I just knew she was there. Like, I don't know how, but I knew she was there. And I told her, I said, um, where's God? And she said, you are in God right now. The love, the joy, the peace, the serenity, everything was right there. Nobody was fighting, nobody was arguing. You do not feel hate. You do not feel none of that negative stuff that's on earth. You don't feel that up there. You don't even when you pass away, you don't miss your loved ones. You don't you basically once body is dead or gone, you disconnect with it. You don't need it anymore. You only was using it for a tool anyway. So once I got up there, I wanted to stay. I wanted to learn different things. And Spirit told me that I was not allowed to stay because I was only brought there to tell them, to tell the world about what I saw, which was beautiful. The feeling is it's out of this world. You'll never feel this on a physical earth. You have to be under or maybe passed away to feel this. And I begged to stay up there. Like I wanted to stay up there. I want to stay here. I don't want to go back down there. And she said that I had to come back. And next thing you know, my soul, they laid it horizontally and there was this big light that covered my whole body. And it was the light of God. I wasn't scared or anything. And it shocked me. And when it shocked me, my spirit fell back down to earth. It's like a roller coaster, like when you get it in the pit of your stomach when you're going down a hill. It was like that. I was speeding down to earth, and it was like a tunnel and a vortex that I was coming down out of. When I came out of that vortex and flew into my body, my whole body jumped. I felt my soul fall back into my body. I tried to wake myself up, but I really didn't want to wake up. I wanted to go back there because I never seen nothing that beautiful before. So once I opened my eyes, I could not believe where I was. I thought, oh, I had a swole tongue yesterday and now I'm waking up today. But when the doctor came in, he couldn't believe I was woke, first of all. Second of all, he said, do you know you was down for 8 days? And then he says the respirator was breathing for you. You wasn't making any kind of uh uh improvement. So we were gonna pull the plug. And I just looked at him in shock, like, huh? I've been what for 8 days? And once I came out of that spirit realm, it didn't stop. Like it downloaded all these gifts. It just gave me all this knowledge, all this stuff. Like if people believe in souls and the afterlife and stuff, it's definitely real. I have had experiences, I have communicated, I know that they are real. And it gave me all this knowledge. And it's like now, even when I was in the hospital and I was staring at the wall because I was like, dang, I want to go back there. The wall was spinning like the vortex that I seen. So I'm looking and I'm like, holy smokes. And I'm like, is it the drugs? What is going on? Like the wall has a vortex, like I would say cement, quicksand. Yeah. When quicksand When it goes around in a circle, it's very, very slow. And that's how the vortex was. And I was like, I should jump through this wall. That's how bad I wanted to get back there. But I had to teach myself how to walk and talk again. I had to, and I did this in like 4 days. I wanted out of there because I'm like, I'm shocked. Like that this happened. Nobody's gonna believe me. Spirit told me to tell people, and I'm like, nobody's gonna believe this. That you could actually travel out of your body in a near death experience and know how to move and know what to do. It is natural. It's like, hey y'all, I'm here. I'm back home. Like you're really, really comfortable up there. And I was really, really pissed, excuse my language, that I got sent back here. I didn't want to be here. And once I taught myself how to talk again, well, how to eat and how to walk, I started to like study the Bible, study spiritual things, look at other near death experiences to see if they had the same experience that I had. But yes, there was an angel in spirit, and I asked her to reveal herself to me so I could see who I'm talking to. She revealed herself as my grandmother to make me feel comfortable, to talk to her. And believe it or not, that's the spirit that put me out of God's bosom. It's like right when I was going up, when it sucked me up in the vacuum, I seen when I was younger, they were happy moments. I seen when I was younger, I seen my mom, I seen my sisters, I seen my children as they are now. And I seen other things that wasn't so nice, like that I did in my past that I forgot about. And I'm just like, oh my goodness, I'm going through judgment. This is what they talk about in the Bible or whatever. But it wasn't long. It was like bam, bam, like really, really quick, like pow, pow, like you can do and go anywhere you want to, basically. So it's like if you ever stop and think to yourself and you hear that voice in your head, that is your soul, that's your consciousness. So when it leaves your body, you're going to hear that voice. It's going to be like you're talking to yourself. It's going to be, you're just going to know what to do. It's amazing how I knew how to do everything. And they were telling me there were different levels that spirits go to work on their spirit or work on things that wasn't right in their physical life. So if they get another chance, they could basically work on that or whatever. But I wanted to stay there. I didn't get to stay, so I was mad. Like I felt like I was rejected by God. This was what I was feeling for like 4 weeks. I was really down and depressed because I'm like, why was when I'm not good enough, my soul not good enough to be in there. And it wasn't even like that. It was just it wasn't my time. It was an unfortunate event that happened, and I guess God was just like, let me make an example out of her. Because believe it or not, a couple weeks ago, March, I was in the hospital because I only had 1.5 milliliters of blood in my body. That's very little to be communicating, walking around, eating, sleeping, breathing. I was walking around like that for like 5 months. I did not have like symptoms like other people. So when I got to the hospital, they couldn't believe that I was alive. The nurses, the doctors, they were in complete shock. They didn't know how I survived without any blood in my body. And it's like, because I had a bad condition, it's a woman condition, and I was bleeding out so much that it took all the blood out my body. Like I was ready to have a stroke. I seen my arm go up like this, and I seen my hand go like this, and I felt my body stiffen up. Then that's when I dialed 911. And when 911 came to get me, I had no blood. They had to give me 7 bags of blood. They had to give me 8 bags of iron. And I'm just now getting better from that. So I know that God is real, and I know that spirit is real. And I know that there's something after this life. This is like a level of Jumanji. It's like a game. Your soul is already perfect with God. You're gonna, when you pass away, you're gonna go up, like not in the clouds. I'm talking about past space. Like it's all the way up there, like way, way up there, like the kingdom of God. Like it's a pocket in space that your soul goes through. And when it goes through that pocket, you go all the way up. And once you get up there, it's nothing but lavender, pink, white, uh, blue, just all these beautiful colors. The trees are even beautiful. Like it's amazing. I want to tell you that you're living a life that basically, I guess God allowed us to live as humans, but we don't belong here in these bodies for too long. Your soul goes back to heaven where it came from. Like I didn't see no hell. So I just want to tell people that spirit is real. God is definitely real. And heaven is way past space. And as long as you know you do good, and some people say do good, repent. I'm not Christian. I'm not Judas. I'm not nothing. I don't have a religion, but I know that there is a God. So just keep your prayers and, open your mind to people, open your hearts to people, forgive people. If you have a beef with somebody, forget all of that. You're not going to take none of that with you when you leave. It's going to be easy. So don't fear death. I believe that we live once we die. I believe that this right here is nothing but, if you ever watch The Matrix, look at it. That's exactly what it is. You can manifest your desires. You do not have to uh uh lie, cheat, steal, and all of that. No. Spirit says you can manifest what you want, which means you think in your head, you visualize what you want, and you keep yourself true to that. Don't let negative energy come in. And Spirit says that we all are blessed, but what are you going to do with your blessing?